Well, it's the end of the 2025 season, and joining me on this end of year wrap up today is the guy who's usually holding the camera, Stuart. And what a season it's been.
Indeed, yes, it has been.
Quite dramatic, especially the end of the season with our Steam Festival weekend.
So it's a good way to start the video with the end of the season, really. But as we're stood in front of the main event, loco number 9 in blue, which has caused a lot of discord, I think it's safe to say. But it's been the poster boy for the Vale of Rheidol, and it's been on the front page of Steam Railway magazine and Trackside magazine, and it's occupied many places in a lot of the Heritage Railway press, and has been the topic of an awful lot of chat online.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what's your take on the blue? And when did it wear this one then?
Well, it was, because that's some of the subjects I was seeing online was that, well, it's blue, but it's not the real blue, but of course it is. This was the second version of the blue that it wore from the late 70s until the early 80s. So it was a more attractive version of the very, very plain blue.
So that's what it was before, was
in 68. Yeah.
And a lot of the photos from the past were dirty locos.
Exactly.
Let's face it, they would never have seen it.
It's the first time it's looked like this that I've ever seen. So yeah, absolutely.
So people say it's not the right blue, but was there actually a Pantone for the blue, or was it just best guess?
Best guess, I would have thought, because you look at different photos from the period and they're mixed with grime and whatnot, it looks different in every one. So this is the first time we've seen one in blue looking this spick and span for many years, and I think it looks lovely.
Yeah, and it was a great reveal. We had a great build-up of teasing. We obviously had our good friend Tim Dunn here.
That's it.
Good fun for a couple of days. Always a pleasure, Tim. Thanks for making our life complete. And it was great, the build-up to it. But that wasn't the only star of the show, in that we also had Llewellyn in black already.
Absolutely, yeah.
But then number
7 back there behind you all.
7,
there is another engine there, I promise. So that was the great thing, really, was we had all 3 engines, all 3 Vale of Rheidol engines, that is, in different BR liveries, wearing their names again together for the first time in many years, since before the 90s. So it was really a team effort, really, with all 3 engines turned out in these different BR liveries. It was a great celebration of that sort of neglected period of the Vale's history.
So Peter Ampton, our ex-chairman, the man who bought the Vale of Rheidol off British Rail, along with Tony from the Rebecca Mountain Railway, never liked nameplates.
No.
Was there any sort of understanding of why that was?
They're not original. The names were all added in 1956 by the divisional manager at the time. So Peter Ampton was all about restoring the railway to how it was when the Great Western owned it from 1922 on. But of course that wasn't original to the railway, but it was original to these. All of these were built by the Great Western in Swindon. So he was all about restoring these engines back to their original Swindon condition with the Great Western lettering on the sides. And for many years, this is how the railway was, wasn't it? For the last 10 years or so, when I started here, it was Great Western, Great Western, Great Western. So it's really nice to have a little bit of variety now, with celebrating other parts of the railway's history and not just obsessing over Great Western, even though that is the authentic.
So that was 80s?
Yeah.
When would this have been black then?
Late 70s, early 80s. This was the early to mid 50s.
And then the green?
Early 60s.
Okay, so it's 60, 50, 60, 70s, that sort of era?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 3 periods, we've got the British Railways early period, the late British Railways period, and then the British Rail corporate period. So we've got the 3 periods. The last period, which we haven't got yet, was what I call the sponsorship era. And that was the early to mid, even late 80s, when historical liveries were kind of reapplied to some of the engines. And that's when we had the infamous yellow engine. This was painted bright yellow.
Ochre.
Yeah, ochre. Meant to be ochre, but it was yellow.
Yeah. I don't think it's ever going to go to that.
No.
Niall, who does the painting here, said he wasn't desperate to do that.
I think many people would agree. The point of the yellow was originally the original number 1, number 2 were painted ochre and claret, and then BR responded with yellow and red, basically. So it was not quite right, and that went down in history as being quite infamous.
So the Steam Festival was great. We had an awful lot of people here. There was lovely to see rows of photographers taking pictures as it came out of the. It was a lovely start today, and then it rained for the rest of the day. But hey ho, there you go. So a great success, lots of people on site, but not content with that. We also had just a little event in the museum.
Yes.
Just a tiddler.
Don't know if you heard about it.
Did a tiddler. So we welcomed Pete Waterman and his world record portable model railway.
Yep.
So all 208-ish feet of it, which it took a week to build, and their team was very diligent, and there was an awful lot of late nights going on, but it did work. And we welcomed over 4,500 people came to do
within that 1 week.
And within that, 2,000 people actually got involved and drove the trains with the tablets. So they were delighted, we were delighted, and I think there's an awful lot of new faces to the railway, and it was a really good event. And watch this space, because we're hoping that they will come back next year or in the future in some way, shape or form, because I think the museum itself lends it really well.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
One
of the few places big enough to actually hold the whole shebang, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So this was the second time in its history that it had ever been assembled all in one piece. Yeah. So that'll be great.
We finished the actual the events on the 2nd of November, and we stopped running trains, but then we moved into photo charters for 4 days, and there's some fantastic photos of the locos in the autumnal background. Did you drive that?
No, I was shoveling. I was shoveling on that one.
Yeah. nice weather.
No.
Yeah.
Cold and wet, but it was nice. It was
we'll share some pictures of that.
Yeah.
But moving on now, so the site is still open. The shop is open and the cafe is open Monday to Saturday every week.
All winter, yeah.
And the shop has got lots of things in for Christmas. So if you're short of ideas, a lot of local produce and art and pictures and cards and lots of beer. We've got lots of beer to get rid of.
Sounds good for a good old Christmas shop, doesn't it?
And then the cafe is a lovely place to come for a lunch or a breakfast or a coffee, and some interesting pigs in blankets specials on.
Nice. Brilliant.
And then the last event of this season will be Ticket to Christmas, which is our museum base. We've got no trains running this year because we're digging things up the line.
Busy working on the track,
So no polo this year, but we are doing a Ticket to Christmas, which is in the museum. It's quite low cost, so it's open to an awful lot of people. Very much themed workshops, but you're still in the museum with the locos, and it's still train related, even though you're not on a train. So tickets are selling well. Do come along and see that. And then next year, who knows, we might be back to something on a train.
Something on a train again.
Okay.
And that'll wrap up 2025, won't it?
That does indeed, yeah.
How about the new year then? What are we looking at?
So, well, we'll talk about this in a minute, but next year we are hoping to run trains in February half term. Might well be this one.
Cool.
But only going as far as Capelbanger, because there's something happening up there.
Absolutely. P-Way are going to be working on the track up above Aberfrwd, between there and Rheidol Falls. So I don't know how many, but there's a gazillion new sleepers going in over the winter. So maybe plus or minus a couple.
So we've got a programme of many years of relaying the whole 12 miles. So unfortunately, when that happens, we can't run trains, but we will do something in February half term, just a Capelbanger and back. So it's 20 minutes each way?
That's it, 20 minutes each way with a brief layover there.
Yeah,
so it's something to look forward to in February.
In the summer. And then we run daily then from 28th of March.
All the way to
tickets will be probably on sale the end of this month, end of November, early December, something like that. So plenty going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Well, since you mentioned this.
Yes. What's happening with this next?
So at the moment, it's a coal burner, but it's going to be converted to an oil burner over the winter. As this livery would have been applied originally, it was an oil burner then under British Rail, so that, as many of you probably remember, earlier this year, the beginning of summer, we had a very prolonged dry spell when we had to cancel some trains because it was just too much of a risk to run our coal-fired steam engines. So this being converted to oil will mitigate that spark factor, so we'll be able to run whatever the weather next year, this locomotive, as well as a big diesel, which will be coming up here to the workshop soon, which is capable of Collection X diesel. I can't remember what.
Bagnall, isn't it?
Bagnall. So that'll be able to haul full length trains as well. So we'll have one steamer and one diesel that can run whatever the weather. So we're all armed up for whatever 2026 may throw at us.
So I was in the Isle of Wight steam railway over there last month with HRA, and there was a big 03 03 shunter. Apparently, the diesel we're getting is basically the narrow gauge equivalent of the 03.
Yeah,
so
I've seen it. It's big. It's very big. It's chunky.
So it will be appealing. And one of our timetables we're going to next year is a 3-train day, and we might well use the diesel as the middle train, so just to give it a run out. And it will be appealing to some people.
Absolutely, we've got a bit of a diesel fandom as well, so it's there, in case of whatever we need. So that's a good aid to our flexibility, really, especially if we're going to have another dry summer.
So that's the diesel. In the background, my coach for Brecon is actually making progress at last.
That'll be the 5th coach for Brecon, won't it?
So the problem I faced at the Brecon Mountain Railway is I've run out of seats quite regularly, which is a nice problem to have. So this is going to be a new open coach, not open top, but open sides, like the
similar
summer
to the ones
cars
we've got here.
Disabled friendly, but it's going to give me an awful lot more. So I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be really popular, because even in the worst of the weather, people still choose the open carriages because they like to hear the engine.
Sure, like to
especially
if it's at the front.
Smell the set, smell the noise, smell the loco, and they like to get wet. So great,
it's all part of the atmosphere.
We can do that in Merthyr in Spade, so that'll be quite good.
Plenty of room in the carriage shed for it.
That's no.
To extend the carriage shed.
we can overcome that.
Yeah. Oh, good. So that's nearing completion. Back in the back there.
Yeah, still works going on with Typhoon in the workshops. That's making progress. And that's not this one, the other one.
Yeah, number 10. I don't know if they finished that
yet. Number 10 is got a new engine. So
it's arrived.
We're going to have so much new resilience. It's going to be amazing.
It's got new oil burner, 2 new diesels. Well, in essence, 2 new diesels. Yeah. So exciting year ahead then.
Yeah. What else were we talking about?
Devil's Bridge.
So. Yes,
let's
talk about developments as a whole. So start down here. You've been working on interpretation in the museum.
Yes, so when the museum opens next year, definitely by March, there will be all new interpretation panels in the museum that I've been working on with some of our colleagues, basically so that we can have more interpretation on the history of the Vale of Rheidol, as well as the locomotives from Collection X that are in there. So it'll be a little bit of a sort of chronological series of panels, and also some engaging things for children as well, activities for children to do, trails and whatnot, treasure hunts. So it'll be a lot more engaging, a lot more interpretation in there for people to enjoy inside the museum.
So that kind of leads on to Capelbanga.
Yes.
And though it's not a development, Capelbanga has had a new shed, which we filmed the last video in, which was extremely impressive and much better than I ever envisaged, really. But one of the things we want to look at next year is opening that up on special events. So we can give the whole Collection X behind the scenes, which, guess what, you'll probably be leading. But it's a lovely space, and we can extend the interpretation into that. So that's quite.
It'll be like an exclusive addition then to the regular museum here that we can open up on special days.
And then up to Devil's Bridge, and we cleared the site last year. The cafe was end of life, so we parted company with that. But we've been working hard to get things underway, and there is now building work underway to create a new toilet block, because the toilet block was also, let's say,
pretty much life expired.
A porta cabin that was horrible, whereas if you've used the toilets here,
it was too much of a contrast. So we're building a new toilet block up there, which is actually a replica of the original goods shed that was built there in 1902. So it fits in very well with the historical context of the station, and it has all the modern mod cons inside. So that'll be great.
And then there's going to be a sort of picnic shelter with a small servery for tea and coffee and refreshments, so you can sit and enjoy the view. But also the loco running shed for you can't call it driver for 5, it's driver experience.
Driver for whatever it happens to be.
And the track layout would mean that, I believe last time you used to have to put a temporary track in to get the loco in.
Yeah, that's right. There's going to be a permanent spur now, I think, isn't there?
A turnout, but it means that the driver experience will be a lot longer, little trundle. So hopefully back in the summer we'll have certain days where you can come and drive a loco. And then further down the line, there's plans for both adventure playground in the woodland, and possibly something like a museum for some nutter and his mining
Some guy who likes old mines in the area wants to build a museum there, so we're going to have to...
Devil's Bridge is there because of mining.
Yeah. The whole reason that the railway was built was because of the mine. So that nutter, which is me, has a collection of mining equipment and machinery from Bronze Age up to the 1900s. So that can go in there.
That's still a work in progress, but we're hoping to put something there.
Very, very excited about that. So, but this is a bit further into the future. So that's a watch this space thing.
A good year, a challenging year with the weather. I suppose the only thing to finish off with now is obviously you've seen the huge star that Ioan is, who appeared on BBC Breakfast with Tim Dunn. We managed to get on BBC Breakfast with Collection X. That was fun. And that was a huge, it was a great honour for us really.
That was great.
You had a good day up there?
Yes, brilliant.
How long did you film for?
A couple of hours, it wasn't long.
So it was on for 4 minutes.
But it was great to get an update for myself, really, just to see what was going on in Surrey.
So Surrey is becoming gradually empty. I mean, there's a lorry here today. And that's probably going to be concluded by the early part of next year. So it was great to capture some of the last locos still there.
Because those locos are literally untouched.
We'll put a link to the video. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube now, so you can click on there.
The interviews, the whole interviews on there.
And there's also the Collection X book has sold. We've done nearly 800 copies have gone already, so that's really good.
Well worth the buy. It's a fantastic book.
We'll put another link on the description to buy that. It's a great Christmas present. Even if you don't like locos, you think that was really interesting.
I think the link's down there actually. It'll be either up there or down. I think it's down there.
There you go. So I think that concludes everything really, didn't it?
Yeah, that's about it. So, bring on 2026, eh?
Diolch yn fawr.
Hope to see you all next year. Drop by and see us.
Thank you.